Hopefully you'll find this is just going to answer all your basic questions. It's going to enable you to get your business up online as quickly as possible so that you've got a listing that people can find your business on. And also at the end of this video as well, I'm going to share some very important tips that will help you to not just get your business shown, but also to give it a boost, to give it some real help in being shown at the top of the results too. So hopefully you'll find this video to be really useful, well worth bookmarking or subscribing to so that you get alerts to the next updates too. Now, if you have any questions at all before we start and they're not covered and they're basic questions, then put them in the comments below. Any question can be asked really that's going to help you grow your business, and I'll then look at either answering them in the comments or I'll look at producing a video especially for you. So the first question of who? Who is Google My Business for? Well, the simple answer for that is it's really for any business. So whether you're a business that's a shop front, whether you're a service, Google My Business will benefit you. In fact, if you have any of your customers that come from local people finding you through word of mouth, if you use checker trade, if you advertise locally in papers, if you use newsagent windows, whatever your service or your product is that you're selling, if you're going to benefit from getting people locally to find you, then Google My Business is for you. So what types of businesses then particularly would it appeal to? Well, one of the ways you can see the types of businesses and whether your business would really suit Google My Business is to just look at the different categories there are. Now I'm going to just look at some of those categories with you here.
So if you want to see these categories and find out what businesses would be ideal, see if your business is ideal, then if you head over to zanet.co.uk, so I've got it here, and then /GMB, so GMB standing for Google My Business. And on there you'll find that apart from a couple of facts and that, which we could perhaps look at later, you'll see here a list of all the categories for 2020. Now I'll give you an example of the types of things that you might find. If I press Control F and I've got in there plumber, then you'll see either plumber as a general category or plumbing supply store. So that's one example. Let's try something different. Let's say you're into hairdressing or something to do with hair. Then, okay, so we've got wheelchair, which comes up as well. Let's just go through these. Table and chair, hairdresser. So that's one. Waxing, hair removal. Electrolysis, hair removal. So you can see the hair extension, hair extensions, removals, hair salon. So you can get the idea of the types of categories that you can go for. Let's go for something a little bit different. So I know some of you are gardeners. Let's just see what we've got for gardeners. So you can be a spa gardener. What else have you got? Let's go back up. Gardener, garden machinery, garden furniture, garden centre, garden building. I mean, you can see there's a lot here. Community garden, botanical garden, beer garden. So it pretty much covers everything. I think the point I'm trying to make is that there's no category that pretty much doesn't get covered rather well now by Google My Business. So that's reason who is it for? Pretty much every business now, whether you're a service or a shop front, I think you'll find that you can get covered under Google My Business, which means you can appear on Google Maps and Google search engines for your business.
So the next question is what? What is Google My Business? Well, Google My Business is basically Google's ability to have your business showing on all its results, its search results. So if you think of it, last time you were looking for something, maybe you spoke to your device on your phone and you said, where's the nearest takeaway for Chinese, say? Or maybe you wanted to know whether your dentist was open. So you asked Google whether your dentist was open. Whether you're using search terms on your mobile, whether you're using it on devices at home like Google Home or Google Nest, and little devices there that give you replies. Whether you've gone to your laptop, whether you've gone to your computer, whether you've gone on your tablet. Every time you've looked for something locally, for opening times, for business times, for getting a quote, emergency plumber, hairdressers, whatever it is, you would have used local business. And in effect, Google is now throwing in your direction all the businesses that it's ranking through Google My Business. That enables it to give much more richer results because it has photos of your business, has reviews, It has references to your opening hours, your address, whether or not you can visit the address or whether it's a private home. All that information is there available at the fingertips of Google because you've submitted it. And it's accurate because, again, you know your opening hours and your times. So next time you go to Google Maps and you do a search for a business, next time you use any of your devices, next time you perhaps look on the internet and you do a search, you'll find that Google My Business will come up.
So appearing on Google's search engine, obviously one way to do that is through your own website, but this is where Google My Business comes in too. So I've got a local fish and chip shop called the Codfather, so let's just put that in there. And this is just see they haven't got a listing, and the reason I can tell is that if it was local it would come up on this area here. So the search results do come up, and maybe it is that they've got a website, but I can see here that I'm based in Bournemouth and these are kind of 20-30 miles away in other areas. So they would, for example, they would need to enter their location in the Bournemouth area, and that's what they would do. And to do that, they would need to head over to Google/business. And really you can see then that if you do have a business in there, so let's just, for example, take mine as an example. So if I put Zanet Design into Google search, and there you'll see that my business does come up here, and actually some extra information as well about my business comes up as well, and then my website and so on. So I mean, you really can get quite a branding in place if you put some effort in and if you get your business up and running as well. So that's kind of always important to make sure that you check your business in the search engine. And another way you can check it is just to go to Google Maps itself. So if we go into Google Maps, so let's click on Maps. And again, if you've got a business, you'll see it comes up here with a profile. So if I was to search for the Codfather, which is a fish and chip near me, and again we've not got it because Southampton, Ryde, Trowbridge come up, but nothing for Bournemouth. So if it's been added, then you need to claim it. So for an example, if this was the Codfather in local, you'll notice that you can claim it as well, and I'm going to show you how to do that, because you can then go to manage this listing. So say that was my fish and chip shop, and then I can then verify it by filling in the details here to say that it's mine, and that would then give me the opportunity to start adding photos and editing details. Obviously this isn't mine, but it's just to show you how to do it.
So the next question is why? Why would I need Google My Business? Well, it's kind of related to the other questions really, that if you need business, then that's one of the reasons why you need Google My Business. It produces a lot of information, but it also enables you to get a lot of customers too. So for instance, 46% Google says of searches performed are local searches, people looking for things on a local basis. And then looking at some of the other stats as well, that people looking for food, 84% is a local search. Entertainment, 56%. Banking, half the searches are just for local banks. And clothing and shoes, 41%. Personal care, 38%. So stats basically from Google show that 46% of businesses will actually find or be found on local searches. And also notice there that the top three, which is known as a three-pack, well, 93% of all local searches are found in that area. So if you can get to the top, it makes a massive difference to the amount of business you receive. So hopefully you can see why you need it. If you want business, that's why you need it. It's a free marketing, enables you to be shown on all various devices, it enables you to be shown on maps, on Google's search engine, and ultimately enables people to find you when they're doing a search on various devices as well. So all those things is free marketing, it's free advertising. It makes sense that your business needs it. Now, if you want to know some of the more greater benefits of Google My Business, then there's a video above that I'll put for you. You can go over to that and you can check out what the other benefits are too, in line with what we've just discussed, but a bit more detail as well. So the next question is how? How do you get Google My Business? Well, the simple answer to that is you go to Google and then you register your business. But there's no point in doing that if your business has already been registered. There are many people out there that have gone and registered all the businesses on Google, and you may find that your business has already been registered. There's no need to worry, you just now have to claim it. So let's just head on to the computer now and just show you how you can do that.
So if you go to search on maps for your business, or if you just search in Google, let's imagine that we've got a company called Hairy Harry, making it up, and let's just say I'm a local company, so Hairy Harry Southbourne, put that in. Nothing comes up here, so that implies that no one's registered it, no one's claimed it. My business needs to be entered onto Google My Business. If it did come up, then you could make the claim as we saw on a previous part of this video. Okay, so the simple answer then is to just go to Google My Business. So you type in Google My Business, and then this will come up. The first one you want is to come up with the Google My Business. Now, obviously with COVID at the moment, that's a constant thing to consider as well as you register your business. But you need to log in with your details using a Google or Gmail account. So once you've logged in, which I'll do now, and once you've clicked on add location, you now need to type your business itself. So type your business name. So I'm Hairy Southbourne, I think is one. I'm going to just call it Hairy Harry. There you go. So it comes up now. Again, there's a second chance to see whether it's available. So it doesn't exist. Create a business with this name, Hairy Harry, and next. What's the name of your business? That is the name of the business. And at this point, stick to the name of the business. Don't get tempted to type in other things here. You'll see on some videos, they suggest that you put, say, the town, or you put information that's going to basically, in effect, it's a way of spamming, and it'll give you a short-term benefit. But again, if you're doing this properly, you want this to work properly, then don't put anything other than your registered name of the company. So choose the category that fits your business best. So we saw earlier the various amount of categories. You could go back to that page and check to see what the categories are. So that's one option you could do, or you could just start typing. In this case, we'll start typing this time. So if put hair, and then we see basically a list of those ones we saw earlier in the video. So I'm a mobile hairdresser, let's say, or yeah, I'm a mobile hairdresser. I haven't got an address as such. I just go to people locally. Click next. Okay, do you want to add a location? And this is really a case of just thinking to yourself, do you want people to come and visit you, or do you want to go and visit them? So if you're a shop front, obviously you want people to visit you. If you're a business and you've got an office, or you've got a salon or a place built in where you perhaps use your facility, your address, and you don't mind people knowing where you live and people just turning up, then you can click yes. But if no, so say you're just a service in an area, then you click no. So that's an important question, and people get confused here. And it doesn't mean you still need to have your address on Google, but the difference here is whether or not people visit you. So that's a question to think about. So in this case, I'm a mobile hairdresser, so I'm not going to have people coming to me. I'm going to go to them, so I'll click no. Where do you serve your customers? Now, because I click no, it just wants to know the area. So let's just say I cover the Bournemouth area. So you can now look at and see whether it's just Bournemouth, or in this case you can have Christchurch and Poole, which is a bit of a larger scope, which actually I'll go for. So I'll click that, next. What contact details do you want to show customers? So you might have a current website already. You might say I don't need a website. You can get a free website, which again I've got a video that shows you how to do that. And you've also got your contact number. So if you try to do it with just your I don't need a website, then it will definitely want to have a phone number. So let's just pick a number random, and current website, you must provide either a phone number or a website. So I've got a phone number there, so we'll go with that. And now that's it. So I've registered it, I've finished, and now I'm going to be able to then respond by adding information. And that's how easy it is to add your Google My Business. And all now I need to do is put my details. Now this doesn't mean that it will necessarily be shown to the public, because I chose to not show my address to act as a service. So as it says, the address you provide here will be hidden from the public. So a lot of people get really concerned about that. But you do need to have the address, because that is how Google verifies you. They'll send you a postcard, and then you can verify it. So at the moment, I'm not going to put the address, I'll verify later. And now I've got my Google business up and running. Harry, we cover the Bournemouth area, and I can start adding all this information. So I've got 40% of my listing completed. And really, all my videos now going forward will show you how you can fill all these things in, but not just fill them in and make all the mistakes that everyone else makes, but to fill them in and make sure that when you fill them in so it's going to last, give you a much more lasting benefit when it comes to services to people that visit. So there's a huge amount of things here you can fill in. Don't be overwhelmed, because at this stage we just want to get your business up and running. What we'll do over the next few months, if you go through my videos, is we'll gradually work through how you can improve in these areas. So it's a gradual process. There's no quick rush to get these things done. Just do the right things at the right time, and you'll see some tremendous amount of traffic and growth in the coming months ahead.
So ultimately, if you search on Google Maps, if you search on the Google search engine and your business comes up and you can see it's there to claim, that's the way to go about it. If not, then just go to google.com/business and you can register it there. You just need a Gmail account and then off you go, just filling it out as we've just shown. So the next question is when? When do you need Google My Business? Well, if you've already got Google My Business, then obviously that's fine. You can just optimize it. And there's plenty of videos that I can show you how to do that. But if you haven't got your business registered yet, which is assuming you haven't, then the question when, there's a simple answer: now. In fact, it's essential. Over 50% of people now do have their businesses online. But the question is yours registered correctly? Do you have all the times and all the details on there correctly? Have you got your business actually up and running to the point where it's actually relevant to giving information to customers that's going to help them make decisions? Have you got reviews on there? All these things are going to help to make sure that you've got a business listing that will start to bring in clients. Now, with difficulties, with financial business issues, with the COVID situation that's hopefully soon going to go away, small businesses to survive will need to be online and have some strength and have some information and be useful to people visiting it. So the question of when is now, because can you afford not to have your business online? Can you afford to bear in mind that the new generation of people use their mobiles and use electronics constantly to get information from maps, from search engines? Can you actually afford to not have your business coming up when they're looking and they only live around the corner? Well, that's the type of thing that Google My Business does so well, is it knows where your geolocation is. It also knows where the searches is. And so it then puts you two together. So if you've got someone who's just living down your road, and say you're a hairdresser, and they live down your road and they're just looking for a local mobile hairdresser, then it would make sense that you could just walk down the road and you could do them a service and you could look after them and get that new client. Whereas the chance of them just finding you through a search engine alone is going to be a lot slimmer. So Google My Business just gives that geolocation, that ability to show people, very local people, local on the map to where they're searching from. And that's why now is the ultimate time to get your business on Google My Business, just so you can get local business, local traffic to your website and to your listing. And ultimately they'll pick up the phone because there'll be a telephone number there. Or if they're local and you allow them to come to a storefront, or you're a shop or a service with an office, they can then come and visit you. You can meet them person to person. So now is definitely the time. And that really would be my advice on when. So the final question is where? Where can I get advice on Google My Business? Where do I go to find out what to do? How to register it? Well, hopefully we've covered some of that in this very brief Dummies guide to Google My Business. But you'll notice that there's a lot of information, and some of it's quite old. If you go on YouTube, if you go on the website of search engine websites and so on, you'll find a lot of information about Google My Business. But the majority of it is 2017, 2018. And with Google My Business, it changes constantly. So you need to find things that are current, things that are being produced and written in the last maybe 6 months or a year. So what I've done is I've produced a guide to help you to know exactly what you can do next after this. So for an example, I'll take you online now and just show you that once you know what level you're at, so if you're a beginner, which you probably are at the moment, you need to then know, what can I do for a beginner's guide? What would be the right things to do? How do I register it correctly? How do I choose the right categories? How do I get links so that people do write and say whether they feel my service is good or not and give advice? How do I answer questions to people? How do I put the right photos up? What type of photos should I put up? Is there a way of putting videos on my Google My Business listing? All those basic questions we cover in my beginner's guide. And then gradually we go through, so there's intermediates and eventually we get to an expert as well. So we've got this kind of different level of advice and tutorials for you. And that's really going to help you.
So if you head over to my YouTube channel, and this is going to really help you. So you'll notice on here you've got a huge amount of tutorials. It may be slightly overwhelming when you go through some of these, but all of these are here to help you, to give you some idea how to get in the 3-pack, some quick lessons here, some Q&As, how to start off if you're a beginner, here again getting started, you can how to delete your photos and how to build it so that it works with voice search and so on. So you'll find all these videos are really helpful. Make sure you subscribe, so you just click on here and that will subscribe you, and that will then enable you to make sure you don't miss any videos. But to help you as well, I've got some playlists that actually work a little bit easier. So if you've already you're familiar with it, you may find that how to max out Google My Business is useful, but this is the way in which it generally works. If you're just starting out, which you probably are, then you want this area here, Google My Business for Beginners, and in there will be some real basic things you can do. And the idea is that I start off with kind of the green area, so these videos will gradually, you'll see green borders around them, and that's because they're designed for beginners. So I'm just beginning to sort out all my videos and working out whether they're for beginners or for intermediates. If it's intermediates, then it has this kind of more of a turquoise green border, see this type of border here, and you'll see a little in the corners here, you see this kind of turquoise in a similar way that I've done the greens for the beginners here. So at the moment it's kind of in a phase where I'm just sorting these out. When you want to get to advanced stage, then these videos are all free, and if you follow through this one here, again you'll see the yellow being used, and again these have all got yellow borders and a little yellow tip in the corner. And then if you really want the expert, then it goes into the red, which is for experts. And again, you've got the red being used on a few of the videos here. I need some of the corners to put in, and I need to work those out. But that's generally the way it's going to work. Is going forward, you'll notice all my videos have various corners, and they'll be put into the categories of either beginners, intermediates, advanced, or experts. So the idea is you know where you are, you know exactly if you're starting out that you need to look at the beginners videos. But if you've already got a business and you've already perhaps just looked at this video to just confirm that what you've done is right, then you may want to move into a second or third level, or even go for the expert advice as well. So I really hope that's been useful. I've got now a video here that's going to really be useful as well. So
as we've seen there, we've got all these videos to help you. Once you know what level you're at, then just take a video at a time, apply it, watch it for a couple of times. Make sure you subscribe as well so you don't miss the next video that will be uploaded to help you. And what I'm going to do now is just give you 13 tips that are going to help you to optimize it. So once you've got it registered, go through these 13 tips. These have been really helpful for my clients, and I want you to benefit from using them too. Thanks for joining me.
So the video is called 13 Google My Business Optimization Tips to Rank Higher in 2020. And on here you'll see that the video basically covers various things you can do to just give it a good overview. Now, if you just come down the page a little bit, you'll see all the various tips here. So you may just, obviously the first one is to claim your business, which you've already done, but you may have heard of things like consistent NAP. So if you just click on the 311, it'll then take you to, then it'll explain what it is.
Any good, particularly if you've got a website and you mention the address on your website.
And that's the way it works. So you literally find a tip you want to try out, you click on it,
considering how you're going to grab someone's attention,
and so on. So hopefully that'll be a really useful video which you can follow now.